What is going on, everyone? This is your host of Ring Sports TV, Trim Dustin the Third, and today I have I'm very honored to have this man on my show, Jordan Oliver. And before we get on with the video, though, I'd like for you guys to go follow me on Twitter at THudson3RD. That is the official Ring Sports TV Twitter. Go check it out. Link will be in the description below. And also, Jordan Oliver's Twitter is the real Jordan Oliver. Am I correct?
Just the Jordan Oliver.
Jordan Oliver. Okay, my apologies. Again, with Twitter, I actually only started my Twitter for YouTube specifically, so I'm still trying to get the hang of it a little bit. But yeah, so before we even get on with this, before we even actually start recording the podcast, I was expressing my thanks to Jordan because as you guys know, and I'm sorry I'm going to go a small little thing. This episode is about you, but with that I also want to just say this channel has come quite a ways. It's still building up. I mean, it's not the biggest channel, but it's still building up, and we're gonna make it one of the biggest channels on YouTube soon. And having Jordan on this show just means a lot. I am truly honored. This is honestly a dream come true for me. To have a wrestler on my show. So, Jordan, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm excited.
That's cool. So before we go on with the show, I was gonna mention this a little bit later on in the show, but tell me about what your mindset is going. What's your mindset on this match with Rich Swann? Let me know. What are you thinking? What is the Jordan Oliver thinking about going against Rich Swann?
Honestly, I'm super focused. Like, I was talking to DJ about it. Like, there's a lot of times where you can pinpoint where people leap off, where they start becoming the guys, or start mattering a lot. Like, he was talking to me about Adam Cole, and when he realized Adam Cole was gonna matter, and I feel like that's tomorrow, me versus Rich Swann, CZW Asbury Park is one of the it's the biggest match I've ever wrestled in, obviously, but if it goes my way, it's my launching pad. Everyone's gonna be talking about me after it. So I'm just super focused. I'm confident. I'm ready to go. I think we're gonna kill it, honestly.
Well, I cannot wait to see this happen. Let me just tell you right now, I enjoy the cruiserweight style because I don't know, the cruiserweight style is just amazing, and I cannot wait to see how this match turns out. But is there any way that I or my fans can see this stream or a post match? Is there any way that we can watch this?
You could catch it on CZ Studios. Whether I think it's gonna be post, it'll be up probably the next day. But yeah, I'm super big fan of the cruiserweight style. Rich Swann's half the reason I'm a wrestler, so it's a huge deal to me.
It's a huge deal to have you again on this show because you are the reason. You are an inspiration for small guys like myself. That it just shows that we have a future in wrestling. Seeing people like you and Chris Jericho and Chris Jericho in WCW. Once he got to WWE, he was more of a light heavyweight.
Bulked up a little bit.
Yeah. And same with Rey Mysterio. Well, no, Rey Mysterio's forever gonna be a cruiserweight no matter what happens. But
he's still bulked up. Right now he's kind of big. He's a little jacked.
Yeah, he's definitely jacked. I saw an Instagram post. That was that's crazy. Yeah, just I'll probably be pretty sprinkled. My thanks to you will be sprinkled in throughout this entire thing because again, this just means so much to have you on the show. And before we get to talking about more wrestling, if you don't mind sharing, why don't you share your life story? Why don't you share, your journey through life? Also mention your when did your love of wrestling begin? When did you know that's the thing that you wanted to do? Have you had any other careers that you want to pursue, but you said, I think wrestling's the thing for me? Just let me know. Especially you're at a young age. You're 18 years old. I mean, think about that.
I just turned 19 last week.
19. There you go. Happy belated birthday, man. Seriously.
I grew up in a place called Newburgh, New York. It's the murder capital of New York. I went to just a bunch of struggles through like gun violence and all that stuff. Like just pretty much grew up in the hood, lived my life. I've always loved wrestling. Like when I first I was born in New York, right? And then we moved to Florida for like a year because like to see my grandfather or whatever. And we moved back to New York, and like we were moving in or whatever. And like my dad went to the store. And, like my dad was like, he left or whatever. And I heard like wrestling on TV. Like I didn't know what it was at the time. It was like I wasn't even supposed to be out there. Like I crawled behind the couch, and I see like John Cena like wrestling Kurt Angle, and I was like, what is this? This is dope.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with wrestling from right there. And like it's super crazy because like I would always play the games after that. Like I didn't really watch wrestling after that immediately, but like I would play the games because like the games are fucking
Okay.
dope.
What I have to tell you right now is I completely agree with you because I did not watch wrestling until 2010, but I played WWE SmackDown vs. Raw on PlayStation 2 growing up, collected action figures. I mean, I was a huge WWE fan.
Isn't that wild? Like I've like run into so many people that are just like, oh yeah, like I didn't really watch wrestling, but I have the toys or like I play the games, so like, and that's so crazy to me because like how do you come into that? Like I don't know, like obviously the wrestling games are just like fighting games like Dragon Ball Z or whatever.
Yeah.
And people like that, so yeah, I would just play the games or whatever, and like I started watching SmackDown, like during like Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio feud.
Oh my gosh.
With Dominic on the line.
Yeah.
And like I fell in love with that because like obviously it's super crazy. Like wrestling is so off the chain. Like what is this? What the fuck are they doing? They're fighting over a kid.
Yeah. I mean,
so like I would only play the game, and like I didn't know that Raw was real. So like I knew SmackDown was real, but I thought Raw was like something they made for the game. And like one time in my career mode or whatever, Vince is like, oh yeah, like we gotta be Monday Night Raw at 9:30 on the USA Network. So I asked my mom if I could watch it, and she was like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And then I discovered Raw, and just like it was like super crazy, like how I came into it really. But like yeah, as soon as I saw it, I feel like, oh yeah, like I want to do this. Like I thought I could be this, and then I just started doing it, like with my friends in like basements and bullshit, like buses, wherever, just wrestling around and doing what I gotta do.
Well, that sounds awesome, man. That sounds awesome. So, you explained to us, how you got in wrestling, which sounds, like how majority of us fans. I also think it's the era. You see, I grew up and you grew up in the Ruthless Aggression era. You were born at the...
Ruthless Aggression is so dope, bro. Like, it's like, people always say, like, the Attitude Era, like, the Golden Era is the best. Like, honestly, like, the Ruthless Aggression is so fucking fire. Like Randy Orton, Batista, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, all those guys, like, they were on point at that time.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the Attitude Era had its place, but I think...
Chill. Like, I can't, like, as a fan or, like, as a wrestler, like, I just don't like watching it because I feel like the wrestling wasn't as, like on point. Like, the work rate wasn't as high. Like, obviously with the Cruiserweight style, like, I love seeing good matches that are, like, a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I feel like the Attitude Era was more character than in-ring style. A Ruthless Aggression era we had, again, like, I think, when I was younger, for some reason, I don't know why in the world, but I thought Brock Lesnar was a Russian guy that didn't speak any English because, what's his name, Paul Heyman spoke for him all the time. So I'm like...
I used to think that, too, because of the Rocky movie, because, like, the Russian and Rocky, I always thought was like the Brock twin.
Yeah.
Because he had the sides cut of his hair.
Yeah, and
like Russian.
Yeah, he looks like him. I'm like, okay, Dolph Lundgren is Brock Lesnar. Anyways, that was
Dude, Rocky's so cool. It's my favorite movie.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cool to know that again, us wrestling fans, and well, you're more than a fan now. I mean, you're making a name for yourself in the industry. But it's cool to think that yeah, no problem. And you haven't just made it, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm getting lost again. This is an honor. It's absolutely crazy. I never thought I'd actually, this early. I thought I would get one soon, but this early, in my life, I would be able to have a wrestler on my show. So again, just thank you so much, man.
You came at professional as fuck. Of course, I was gonna say
pardon me.
You came at me really professional. Like a lot of guys, like like I knew you were like a legit podcaster or whatever because you came at me so professional. So good on you for that. Big ups.
Oh yeah, thank you. And speaking of
You
that,
carried yourself professionally.
thank you very much, man. And before we even continue with getting into the wrestling industry itself and how you've moved yourself, through that, I've navigated yourself through that. I'd like to say that everybody, this podcast, I planned on having months ago. I reached out to him back in February. The thing though is, at the time, I was not fully prepared. I approached, again, like you said, I approached him professionally, but financially and just other things like that, I wasn't prepared to do it. But as my channel has grown over the recent months and I've gotten more support, international support as well, it's cool that I had one day. I'm like, you know what? I need to reach out to Jordan one more time just to see if he can come on. I did not know if you were gonna respond. I was like, he may not respond, but
Yo, I don't know why people think I'm an asshole. Like I was like, meet people like, oh, I thought you were gonna be a dickhead, like whatever. But I'm chill. Like I don't know.
The thing though is, like, I didn't even think you were gonna be like I didn't think you were gonna be an anal. I thought you were gonna be I think when people think that, it's because they see your gimmick and your character, and they think that, oh, that's how he is. I think that's how a lot of people.
Like, I'm sarcastic. I mean, It's just comes from like the streets or whatever. Like that's just how
Yeah, no, I understand. But yeah, so this was 4 months.
A good bit. Like you hit me up like the first time, like maybe like
February.
Yeah, it's probably like a long time ago.
Yeah. So yeah, this is awesome. Again, to have you on the show. I'll repeat that a trillion times until I go to sleep repeating it. You don't realize how many people I was telling, like, oh my gosh, I'm having an interview with a wrestler. I'm having an interview with the
I'm happy
Jordan
that
Oliver.
I could do that for you, because like one of like my biggest things in wrestling, like because like where I'm from, like Newburgh, like there's nobody that really makes it out or whatever. Like you either fucking die there, become a drug dealer, get arrested, whatever. Like, and like I'm so happy that like that I can be like an inspiration to people, like for how people have been an inspiration to me, because like that's all I've ever wanted to do in my life, is just inspire people and like help people believe in shit, like how I believe in myself.
Well, what I can definitely say is, when I saw you on DTS, I'm like, who's this guy?
Who's this skinny fuck?
Like, no, seriously, I did not. I didn't know who you were, until I started watching more of your stuff, and I was like, what I would say is, I think Grim, I think Dave, I don't know his last name, but I thank Dave for presenting you on a show, because without that, I wouldn't have been exposed to you.
God bless him, honestly, because he really came through. Like he just let me do whatever I wanted on there, and like if I asked him for something, he would do it. Like still to this day, like if I came up to him, like he's very cool. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in the business. Like, and like he's really helped me a lot. Like even like people like in the indies specifically, like shit on Grim's a lot, or like call it like trash or like yarding or whatever. But like if it wasn't for Grim, I probably wouldn't get like I wouldn't have been. I'm not like saying like he gave me like all my buzz or whatever, but like he definitely helped me get a little buzz. Yeah. And like I really appreciate that.
Well, he gave you enough quote unquote buzz to inspire me and to make this video happen. So it's I'm going completely off the rails right now, but it's just awesome that I've attended wrestling event. I attended a wrestling event recently, a Legends of Wrestling event, and it was Billy Gunn, Ric Flair, a whole bunch of people, Eric Bischoff, his son, which my viewers know I'm from Detroit. I forgot to mention that to you. I'm from Detroit, so this is Eric's hometown. He was there, all this stuff. This episode's about you, so I'm not going to be talking about all these other wrestlers. But what I will say is, or people in the business, I want to make this, whenever I do Ring Sports TV presents an interview with a superstar, I want it to be specifically about that superstar. So I want to make this about you. But anyways, me going to the event, I didn't feel like I've been to Raw. I went to Raw back in 2009. I went to Raw 2015. I was in the nosebleeds in 2015. I was in the front row, and I was
I've never been like at a WWE event, like, cause I only been to like 2 or 3 when I was a kid. Like I never been past the nosebleeds.
It's
So
it's crazy. It's crazier than I thought. Well, it was crazy first time I went because what's his name? My mom lived in North Carolina at the time, and
I just got back from North Carolina.
you did an event there recently, or something
Yeah, I
separate?
wrestled there. Nah, yeah, I just wrestled there.
Well, yeah, it's. I guess I was a good amount of cruiserweights, a good couple of cruiserweights, well, light heavyweights came out of there. Cough, cough, the Hardy Boys. Cough, cough, Hurricane Helms. Cough, cough, Shannon Moore. But Jeff Hardy was there, and he was doing his entrance, and he, you know how he like does a little high five with the kids and stuff. I was right there. I was so starstruck, I just couldn't do it. You know, I just freaked out. And then
I've been there because like so when I first like when I was like I amateur wrestled in like elementary school and middle school and high school and like in I want to say middle school like maybe 7th grade a wrestling promotion came to my school or whatever and like I hit him up to see if I could help him out because like obviously I was going to be wrestling so like they said yes and, like I came through and like was helping set up and I heard a knock on the door and like I opened the door and you'll never guess who was there.
who?
Like, it was like Bret Hart.
Wait.
I froze. Like I could not move because I was like, what is fucking Bret Hart? Like,
Yeah, that's got to
so
be.
like I've been there too, and like, yeah, I just couldn't. Like he was waving to me, and like I saw it in slow motion, like I couldn't move. I was just like, what the fuck just happened? This is Bret Hart.
Yeah, and you know what I can tell you right now, and this is no knock on the legends, but I think it's because I'm somebody that wants to be, you know, in a way, this is my like this channel is an entry level into the wrestling business. Even though I'm not a wrestler, I'd like to at least, you know, have some type of journalism in wrestling. Like if you, this channel it's went from MMA and wrestling but to strictly wrestling and interviewing people outside of wrestling. So kind of like Talk is Jericho a little bit.
Yeah, that's dope. It's really cool to see like people have aspirations to wrestling that aren't just always like, oh, I want to be a wrestler. Like I want to be like a referee, commentator, or whatever. Like I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah, for me, it's like it's. I'll explain. It's I don't know. It's beyond the mat. No pun intended. It's beyond the mat. I want to as long as I'm in the wrestling business, whether I'm backstage or I'm on that TV screen, I want to, you know, be in the business. I don't plan on going to WWE. In fact, I show appreciation to people like you because the indie scene is. I love the indies more than I like the quote unquote major league promotions. You know, like WWE. I mean, New Japan's an exception, and Ring of Honor is an exception as well. I don't know if would you consider Ring of Honor, like from your perspective, would you consider Ring of Honor a major league wrestling promotion, or would you consider it like, you know, an indie?
So like. I'm always like iffy on it because like Evolve and Ring of Honor they sign people, which is like kind of like a major league thing to do, but I feel like they're still like they're just like a little higher than normal indie.
Yeah, and I feel like
it's
that.
Like you know it's like you play like so like this is like a weird comparison. Say like you play like little league with your friends and then you get signed to like an amateur team.
Yeah.
After, like for you go to college or whatever, and then there's like MLB or whatever. Like I feel like that's like the indies. Like normal indies is like Little League, ROH, Evolve, whatever. It's like college level.
Well, what I want
WWE's WWE.
What I want to share with you is okay, again, this is going off the rails. I want to first talk about you before we get to talking about, you know, my love for, you know, your work and other indie wrestlers, especially in CZW, which we'll get to that later. I want you to tell me about the camaraderie and the friendships that you've made in the wrestling industry, maybe, or about your time in the wrestling industry. How long have you been in the wrestling industry, and how long do you see yourself in the wrestling industry? And tell me about your time there so far.
So I've been wrestling for like professionally like 2 years and like 6 months. And like honestly, like I met all of my best friends in wrestling, cause like Ellis Taylor, Charlie Tiger, Griffin McCoy, Kid Christian, like those are my best friends. Like I live with Ellis Taylor, and like I wouldn't have met them without wrestling. And I'm so blessed to have good friends like that. And, like even my girlfriend of like almost 2 years, I met her through wrestling.
Well.
And, like,
Oh,
So
continue.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, wrestling's been super good to me. Like, and like I just made so many good memories and all that. So like, there's no like, in my opinion, like there's no more closely bonded people than like the people you meet in wrestling. There's also some dickheads that I met that I don't fuck with, and if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. You know who you are.
well, what I can tell you is I myself met my girlfriend not necessarily through the wrestling industry, but she's a huge wrestling fan. The only thing is she likes Roman Reigns. I'm like, oh my gosh, you gotta, you can't, no, you can't, no, no, no. But I'm trying to show her people like you know, people that are. I'm not saying that he's bad. I don't know Roman as a guy. People say he's a cool guy. And there goes my watch. It's 12 o'clock. But oh boy. Sorry, my watch is going off, and I'm not gonna even edit this entire thing. This is going exactly the way I'd like it. But anyways, I met my girlfriend through wrestling, as you know, both being wrestling fans, and it's cool to see, you know, somebody I look up to also met, you know, someone that they love and care for through wrestling. But yeah, continue talking about, you know, where do you see yourself in the future? Because it seems that a lot of
Dying. I
people.
see myself dying.
Okay, well there you go.
No, I was just talking to Ellis Taylor about this earlier. I don't see myself wrestling for very long. Like, obviously, it's what I want to do in my life, but I just like the pace that I go at, like the way I feel like I'll probably retire very young. But I hope I accomplish a lot of shit in that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to like I want to live off wrestling for the rest of my life in some sort of way.
So you're just not gonna be in ring? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think like I would love to be wrestling for the rest of my life, but like I'm only 19. Like I said, like, and I feel like I'm dying every day, like, cause I go so hard or like do stupid shit. So we'll see. The goal is to wrestle for the rest of my life, but if I have to retire young, like, you know, the greats die young.
Yeah, I mean,
Shout out.
well, I mean, hey, there you go, people. Do you
Like that's just wrestling, like people, I don't know, like Dan O'Brien, like even like guys like that. There's always so many guys that are fucking. It's like wrestling's a revolving door, and like either you're here forever or you're not. And, like I felt with guys like Shawn Michaels that retired young that are still like regarded as the best.
Well, I agree with you. If I were in ring, I would want to make sure my career ends off on a good note. But there are some people that continue to wrestle in their late age, aka Terry Funk, who's retired a trillion times. And
Terry Funk's the fucking goat, bro. I just got an action figure in him. That shit's so dope.
you had a match with Terry Funk?
No, action figure.
Oh, action figure. Oh, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
fucking toys.
yeah. Wait, you collect action figures as well? Wrestling action figures?
Hell yeah, bro. I run a whole promotion.
Okay, let me tell you this right now. So, as I'm recording this on my TV, and I have my laptop connected to my TV, I had this AJ Styles figure I was bidding on for $7 for the past couple days, right? Tell me why
Is it
somebody.
Elite?
Pardon me? No, it's not Elite. This is TNA Marvel figure from like 2005. I'm using it.
Oh.
I'm using the body to customize who I see myself as. I'm gonna be. It was a long story. It was a long story. Now it's not. I have to find a new figure.
A custom? That's fire.
Yes.
I just ordered a Charlie Tiger custom.
Wait, a what tiger?
A Charlie Tiger custom.
Charlie Tiger?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know my wrestling encyclopedia is very vast, but
He was also on Grimm. See, he was just like, he's wild. You have to
check him
look
out.
him up. He's the goat.
All right, we'll do. But yeah, I got out as we started this call. I got outbidded by $7.50. 50 cents. I lost AJ Styles.
50 cents. That's ridiculous.
50 cents. I know. But anyways, yeah, it's I guess it's a little bit heartwarming to know that wrestlers collect action figures as well, and that being 16 years old, some people say like, oh, that's being a child. It's like, no,
Bro,
I just love
so
them.
dope. fuck anybody that says they're not. To be honest.
Yeah, I was like, come on, I want to be. Let me love my figures. Come on now, they're not dolls.
No, figures are so fucking cool though. Like, can we take like, figures are so cool. Like, what other like athlete or like whatever sport has like this in-depth figures that are like this good?
Yeah.
Wrestling figures are the best toys ever.
So
like no one's topping them.
So I
articulation on point.
I have a question. Jax or Mattel? This is hard.
Say it again.
Jax or Mattel?
Oh, Mattel, 100%.
Oh
Jack's
boy.
Too big. What are you, ridiculous?
Okay, I have an entire. I don't know if my camera's still open, but I have an entire chest of Jax figures. I only collect Jax. I don't like Mattel whatsoever.
What are you doing?
I don't.
What do you mean?
Listen, I have not shopped for a wrestling figure in stores for the past like 2 years. I don't like Mattel. I don't know. I like the Grim.
Mattel gang for life.
Seriously though, like I liked Grimm's old videos when he did the Jax figures. I started watching his stuff through that.
He should definitely be doing more toy stuff.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I like, again, GTS, and I want to see you. Hopefully, but before we even continue, will there possibly be a Jordan Oliver appearance in GTS quite soon? Yes, no, maybe so.
I don't know how soon, but like eventually, yeah, sure. Like I fuck with Grim, he's dope.
That's cool.
Like it's just so busy and like it's very hard to find the time for that.
I understand. Well, how did you get into the industry? That's what I want to know because, me making connections with fellow wrestlers like you and talking to wrestlers, even if I have, my whatever I do with life, which is, again, is going to be wrestling centered. So no matter what happens, it's got to either be wrestling, journalism, the culinary arts, all three together, or wrestling's going to be in the package with anything. No matter what, wrestling's going to be in it. It's going to be either a triple threat or a tag team with that in mind. Anyways, I want to know how you got in. Let the viewers know what did you do that got you into the industry, if you don't mind sharing.
Out again.
What did you do that got you into the wrestling industry? How did you get into the wrestling industry?
I backyard wrestled.
Backyard wrestling, that's the answer.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like I would just wrestle on the buses or the basements or do whatever. And then like I met this guy named Von McDonald. He's the fucking best of all time. Like no one's out. Like he's the greatest. And he just like really gave me some shots. And I just wrestled with him for like 2 or 3 years, maybe less now. I don't know. But then he gave me a shot to wrestle with KC at the time. And from KC, like, was already doing indie stuff. He thought that we killed it, we wrestled or whatever. And he was just like, oh, dude, you gotta start doing indie stuff. So we got really close. He hooked me with some people. I started training for like 2 or 3 months. And then I had my first indie match against him, some no-names, and then Sonny Kiss, who's on Lucha Underground right now.
That's crazy, man. It's... how does it feel to see, somebody that one day they're and again, this is no disrespect because in fact I respect the indies more than I respect the major league, the quote unquote major league promotion, WWE. Again, I love WWE, but that's what introduced me to wrestling. Without WWE, I wouldn't be in wrestling. But you know what I mean, though. It's like I look more up to you guys. I look more up to El Generico than I do Sami Zayn. Let's just say that. How does it feel to see a person wrestling in a high school gym one day and then 2 days later they're in Lucha Underground? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how does that?
It's super crazy. Like, it's really crazy, especially like the whole Swan thing. Like, Swan got released, and then like a few weeks later, he was just at like the CZW dojo, and like that shit's super wild to me. Like, the guys are just there one day, and then back when the Indies are like in the Indies one day, and they're signed, and that's why. Like Leo, like I got to see, I was like hanging out with Leo right before he got signed, shit like that. So like super wild to see that. People really make a lot of like leaps and bounds when they get there. Like it's ridiculous.
Well, sounds pretty cool, man. It sounds, it's awesome to hear the another perspective on the wrestling industry, especially coming from a wrestler, and seeing others come up in the wrestling industry. And I was gonna use this as my outro to close off the show, but honestly, I have more to ask. But I'm gonna just say this right now. What are some words of encouragement that you tell to us fans that want to get into the industry? What's your words that will push us out there and push my viewers out there to get into the industry?
Honestly, like if I had to tell anybody who's like trying to be a wrestler or trying to get into the business, just fucking go for it. Like, don't think about shit. Fuck what everyone thinks. Like, you can definitely do it. Like, if I'm out here doing it, like I said, like I shouldn't be where I'm at. I should be dead. Like, and like, if I did this shit, you could definitely do it. Just live your dreams, bro. Fuck what everyone thinks. Honestly.
Well, there you go.
Just do that shit.
There you go.
Like even today, like you're obviously gonna have a lot of doubters, and like people are always gonna like talk that shit or whatever. But like, if you're doing you and you're living like how you want to live, doing your shit, like keep doing you. Like this podcast shit, that's dope. Like playing with toys, that shit's dope. If everyone's fucking disrespecting your toys or whatever, like that shit's you, and that's what makes you you. And like that, honestly, like that just makes you who you are. Like people don't fuck with that, fuck them.
Well, there you go, everybody. Just
do you.
Do you. Pursue your dreams, and
there's a lot of people that are too scared to like just try it, and like you don't want to end up like ecstatic. Like you want to be the man.
Yeah. Everybody and.
Hashtag fuck Nick.
I'm assuming that's one of your pals in the background.
No, it's some guy we don't fuck with named Nick.
I see. Alright, here. So, tell me about CZW. Okay.
CZW is the fucking best.
So, speaking of CZW being as you said, the effing best,
should I not be cursing this much? I've been cursing for like 30 minutes.
I mean, do what you feel, man. This is an open podcast. I was contemplating, should I bleep this out? I'm like, no, I like to give my viewers the raw.
It's going to take way too much work if you have to bleep this out.
Not even that. I want to give my viewers raw footage, and when I do show this, because I plan on showing this to, others, so I can get more onto the show, because I want to get, one day I want to give you as, a guest, a returning guest onto the show. But with that in mind, I want to show you people that be yourself on my show. You don't have to come on here with a front. If you just, say what you feel, do what you feel, I'm fine with that. That's what journalism is. You don't bleep out anything. You give all the information that you give your passion, you show your passion. So you're showing your passion. Simple as that.
Yeah, I fuck with that. Respect.
So, speaking of CZW, might I first just say, getting into CZW, my favorite wrestler was Sick Nick Mondo. In fact, I have my custom figure in my...
I love Nick Mondo. That's my guy.
Now, I have a question. Have you ever met Mr. Sick Nick Mondo?
No, I've never been blessed enough to meet Nick Mondo.
Yes, I don't think anybody's blessed enough to meet Nick Mondo. I see that he's in film now, so it does
Have you watched it? It's super good.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen the trailer, and the trailer itself looks good. I haven't seen it.
I watched the movie like a few months ago, and it's so good.
Yeah,
so good.
So, who in CZW is your mentor, or who do you look up to in CZW? Like, if I were to, let's say I were to...
Right now?
right now, then, now, forever, as WWE says.
Well,
Please don't copyright me again.
Obviously, like DJ Hyde, he's been such a supporter, but like to me as a wrestler, like Rich Swann and Desmond Xavier, like those guys have been super helpful to me on who I've become today, and like as a wrestler, and just Jonathan Gresham. Like there's a lot of guys that have been super detrimental to who Jordan Oliver has become today, and like just like pushing me and just making me the best that I can be, especially at CZW. Like even the rep, they've been super helpful. There's so many guys that are like, they're so like, what's it called? Like not, I would say mentors, but like helpful and like just want to see you succeed, especially like shitting me.
Well, honestly, I do not think you're crappy because, again, if you were, you would not be on the show. Again, it's I'll say this a trillion, billion, gazillion, dillion times. It's been an honor having you on the podcast so far, and we're 35 minutes in, 36 minutes now. And time flew by, starting to connect with a fellow, not just wrestling fan, but you're not just a wrestling fan, you're a wrestler. I mean, speaking of being a wrestler, I don't know if you've had, because I don't know how it works, I've heard about the grueling travel schedule for wrestling, of being a wrestler. Tell me about that, if you know any information about that.
Yeah, I'm always on the road. Last week, I was on the road from Tuesday to Sunday, just traveling, wrestling. I'm like, it's definitely super grueling. I'm like tired, but like it's probably my favorite part of wrestling, other than wrestling. Like, in a few weeks, me and the rest of the group, like, we're all going from CZW to H2O to Rockstar to IWA, and then back again, and like. That's been super tiring, but it's like I said, it's my favorite part of wrestling, especially to go back to the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing better than just like sitting in a car with your boys and just chatting it up, chilling, messing around with each other for however many hours, 12 hours, 20 hours, 19 hours, whatever. And that's actually like how I became so close with Swann, from just like sitting in a car with him. So it's like, while it's super grueling, it's also super like relieving, like especially for me because I don't have a like actual like phone plan, so I don't have internet, but like when I'm on the road, so it's super cool to like be able to step back from the internet and like all that and just like take it all in.
That's cool, man. That's what I'm looking forward to, is like the grueling schedule. Like that's where it's tossed around so much when it talks about the schedule in wrestling, quote unquote, grueling.
It's especially super hard to like travel, wrestle, and then still go to the gym and still eat right and all that stuff. And, like,
yeah. Speaking of, how do you stay in shape? Tell me, how do you stay in shape? Every day. So I'm assuming one day cardio, one day weight training, back and forth, or
I don't do any cardio because I wrestle so much. So like every day is a weight training day for me, especially because I'm trying to put on size. I think I put on a decent bit of size. For how I've been going to the gym like dedicatedly for like 4 or 5 months. I started going, I was 150, now I'm 170.
So speaking of weight and things like that, the picture that I am looking at on your profile picture, because you're looking good, man. Like, seriously, I'm admiring the gains. But how recent was that picture?
This picture, what is this picture? Let me check.
You have like a blue attire, blue and gold attire.
Oh, that picture is from almost like 7-8 months ago.
Oh, so that's changed from then, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But even then, seeing the definition, I was thinking about that because I myself work out. I've been working out for about, that's, again, this is not about me, so I'm not going to even talk about it. But I will just say I've been working out for quite a while myself to get used to weight training and do body weight, getting into weight training.
That stuff is so important going into wrestling.
That's what I was gonna ask.
I wish I was weight training when I started training 2 years ago and like all that stuff. I think I'd be a lot further in wrestling, but everything happens for a reason. Like I'm doing it now. I'm working super hard at it. Like I preach hard work. Like just hard work, hard work, hard work. It gets you places. Because like 4 months ago, nobody would have said Jordan Oliver could like match up with Swan. Like DJ Hyde, like he didn't believe in me 4 months ago, and those are the facts. But I promise you, DJ Hyde believes in Jordan Oliver now, and that was just from hard work and doing what I had to do to get here. Like if I wasn't wrestling, like I said, I'll probably be dead. And like, I just want to be as inspiring to everybody as the wrestlers were inspiring to me, like to help me make it out of the ghetto and all that stuff. Like, I just want people to know like hard work pays off, and like that's all you can do. Just work hard, because people that don't work hard don't do shit. And like, yeah, like just work hard, believe in yourself.
Well, there you go, everybody. Work hard and believe in yourself. And speaking of working hard and believing in yourself, even though this is not even related to it, the Spanish Fly. Tell me... Okay, this is my favorite part of the show. Tell me how you came up... tell me how you came up with the move, or... I'm not sure it came up with the move, like who inspired you. I don't know, like tell me about the Spanish Fly. Let me know, because that move is sick. When I was sending my girlfriend some like, you know, videos and gifs of you, I was just like saying like, do you see that move? Like that's freaking crazy. It's crazy. You know, tell me about that.
The Spanish Fly is definitely my favorite move that I do. And like so my favorite wrestler right now is Will Ospreay. Like I just think he's the GOAT. Like he's the man.
Yeah, I agree.
And he does a variant of the Spanish Fly. Is a ripcord or like Rainmaker Spanish Fly. And I always wanted to do it ever since I was younger. And then obviously like Leo started coming up, and Leo was super cool. And like, so yeah, I just wanted, like those two guys inspired me a lot to do the move. And like going into it every time is always super exhilarating. Like I hit it, like I just like, it's always like, yeah, like let's go. The people always love it. And like you said, it's like people, like even like your girlfriend or whatever, really fuck with it. Like everyone I know thinks it's super cool. It's really funny to me, because I don't know about you, like if you've encountered stuff like this, but like people always say like, oh, high fly wrestling is like killing the business.
Shut up, Jim Cornette.
Every time I show somebody, shout out Jim Cornette, he's gonna see something in a few months. Just wait, I'm wrestling a shark.
Oh my gosh.
But like everyone always says like wrestling is like getting killed by the high flyers, but if you ask me, anytime I show a non-wrestling fan my wrestling, they always fuck with the high flying acrobatic shit. Like those are the facts. Everyone like always shits on it, but like nobody wants to go to a show and see two fat dudes beat the shit out of each other. They want to see two good looking kids fly around the fucking ring and kill that shit.
The thing about it is wrestling right now is all about the new school. Like it's nothing.
Hell
like
yeah.
Like the old school, they had their, you know, renaissance briefly, but just
like respect the old heads, but
yeah, you know what I mean. Like
cool time.
yeah, the thing is, I respect people like, you know, Undertaker, D-Generation X. Those are the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era. I respect them big time, but you know, people, but people like. But people that are like, you know, and I love Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette inspired me to do this show, like, indirectly, you know, him and I didn't talk, but he inspired me to do this show. Him and Chris Jericho inspired me to do a show like this.
Yeah, talking to Jericho's dope.
Yeah, I love talking to Jericho. I listen to it every single day on my way to school and on my way home from school. In fact, I believe when I was tweeting you and I direct messaged you, I think I was listening to either Going in Raw or another wrestling podcast. Either way, I listen to wrestling podcasts.
Wrestling podcasts are so cool. Like they super helped me get through senior year of high school a lot. Like wrestling podcasts are super cool. That's why I'm super happy to do this.
Yeah, man. It's awesome to be, you know, I guess for both each other's. It's gonna sound weird, but we're each other's first. And where I guess you're not a podcast virgin anymore. I'm not an interview virgin anymore. Yeah, there you go. But with See, my mind just goes completely off rails. But yeah, with Jim Cornette, him saying, like people like the Young Bucks and things like that, like they're in Kenny Omega. It's like, don't rag on them like that. That's their style. And honestly,
Respect the hustle.
yeah, I definitely respect the hustle. I mean, the Bullet Club are selling like hotcakes. I mean, come on now,
They're like they're the first indie wrestlers to have shirts in like Hot Topic. Like that's crazy.
I know
what a time we live in. Like we're like two fucking ad-shaped fucks that just do flips can be the most poppin' thing in wrestling. Like the Young Bucks are the shit. Like everybody fucks with the Young Bucks. Like
that's very accurate.
But like it's so crazy. Like that you can just go into like Hot Topic and see like a Kenny Omega t-shirt. Like they have Funko Pops now. And, like that shit's so crazy. They're on a PlayStation 4 box. Like what is that? Like that's so crazy. Like 4 years ago, that shit would not be happening. But like indie wrestling is fucking popping.
Yeah, and honestly, without the new age, because I think it's really a renaissance. I think it was hot back in the early 2000s, but it's died back down. Well, not necessarily that. I don't know. I feel like it's gotten.
It definitely had a cool down.
Yeah, it cooled down for a minute, but like. I don't know, because I wasn't in I was in WWE only, but I remember vividly when I was younger, I had a PWI magazine, and Tyler Black was in there, and I'm like, who's this schmuck? And a couple years later, he's Seth Rollins. I'm like, what in the heck?
Seth Rollins is the man.
Yeah, so it's you going back to what we were talking about earlier, just seeing one day somebody on Ring of Honor and the next day they're on New Japan or something. Well, that's what I mean. Like you never know. One just respect. Getting back again, talking about in-ring style or styles from old and new. Respect the old and respect the new. Because
like I look at a lot of like hip hop. Like right now, the people that are popping in hip hop are like young fucking kids that just want this shit. And like the same thing with wrestling. Like respect. Like I fuck with old hip hop. I fuck with new hip hop, whatever. But like the people that are popping right now are young because they fucking want this shit. They're dedicated and they don't got shit to fucking lose.
And I guess you can apply that to wrestling because most of these guys are in their early 20s. I think Tyler Bate is 21, I'd like to say. 21, 22.
He's like 20 something.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay's 20 something. Like the guys that are the fucking guys, like that are gonna be like, they're so, like the ones that everyone talks about a lot, like super young.
But think about this. You're 19 years old. Like tell me how does that feel to know that you're inspiring, a younger audience at your age? Even though we're only 3 years apart, you still inspired me a lot to get into the business more. So
yeah, it's super crazy to me because like I don't know, like I feel like I said, like 6 months ago I wouldn't have believed like, oh yeah, like whatever, like Jordan Oliver's this or Jordan Oliver's that. Like I'm still super like, I don't know, I'm still not super like, I don't think I'm obviously I'm not where I want to be or whatever, but like it's still super crazy to me that people like, oh yeah, like Jordan Oliver's my favorite wrestler, like or whatever like that, and like being so young, but like. Yeah, it's wild. It's just fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy. And I have a brief, this is going to be a little, not necessarily an ad break, but just a little break between, I'd like to ask you a question to entertain my fans. Well, either I'm going to put a still image of either the picture with you, Rich Swann in the background for the entire video. I do not know if CZW's fine with that, but I'd like to use that for the promotional fine. Okay, I'd like to use either that or gameplay in the background. Either way, I want to entertain my viewers while this is going on because this isn't going up on like Apple, podcasts or anything like that. So I want to make sure that they're somewhat entertained rather than you putting my logo on another interview the entire time. But I just want to make sure you're cool with that before I continued.
John.
So, before we fully, well, I don't even know if we're gonna close. I don't know. Just, I really, I'm trying to get as much information from you because heck, again, I really look up to you, man. So, you're getting back into, uh, how you felt when you knew that you're inspiring, a young generation. How did your family feel?
I don't really fuck with my family. Like I said, my families are my boys. Like, so yeah, I think they fuck with it because they're wrestlers too.
All right then. See, because the reason why I asked because I before talking to you, I've both my father is in business and education. My mom's is in finance. So like they're on totally different opposite. Well, not different opposites of the spectrum, but they're like kind of on the same thing of spectrum. So I was don't know why the heck I mentioned that, but I was talking to them, letting them know because they really, even though they come from something that you consider to be that you would think is super duper, like I don't care what like my son does. He needs to go to like a certain type of school.
It's like a regular job, like something that you feel people need to go to college for. So.
Yeah, and they're encouraging me to fulfill my dream, and I've been talking to them like I can't believe I'm gonna be like talking
That's
to
dope.
the Jordan Oliver. Like it's crazy because they've been encouraging me to continue to live on my dream, and you, sir, have made my dream come true.
That's dope. My family definitely always supported me, but I just feel like they never like gave me what I need, and it was always like just me by myself doing my shit.
Yeah.
So.
And my family has definitely supported me. So, shout out to mom, dad,
Shout out to your mom. Shout out to your dad.
and also Sonia, who's my girlfriend. She's supported this channel along the way, and it was awesome telling her that I'm talking to you. I'm bringing all my life scenarios from the past couple of days since we've been talking. And putting it all into one thing because I'm letting you know that I'm supporting you. I've been supporting you for quite a while right now.
That.
So it just means a lot for you to support me by coming onto this show. Yeah, man. But yeah. So I think that this is going to be the closing of the podcast. But before I end, do you have any last words you'd like to share with the fans? Any links, any plugs you want to share? Any words of encouragement? What do you have to share to the fans?
Definitely go follow me on Twitter. The Jordan Oliver. That's Twitter, Instagram. That's all my social medias. Definitely go promote my pro wrestling tees. All that. Deadass. Be on the lookout because this Friday is going to be game changing. After Friday, everyone's going to be talking about me and my boys, and that's the facts. So, if you don't fuck with me now, you're going to fuck with me after tomorrow.
Well, you hear that, everybody. Stay tuned for the match between him and against Rich Swann tomorrow at, let me pull up the link, or would you like to share it yourself? The location and time?
Yeah. So, it's in Asbury Park. Bell time is 8 o'clock at the House of Independence. You don't want to miss it. There's so many good matches on there, but like, shout out to myself because I'm about to be the match of the night.
Well,
I'm cocky. No, not being like cocky, but I'm very confident.
Oh, no. Listen, in order to get, from what I've seen in the wrestling business, you had to be confident in yourself to, know.
Oh, yeah.
How to navigate through it. So, you're doing the thing. You're doing the thing, Brand. Oh, my gosh. You're doing the thing, man. Seriously. And again, thank you once more for coming on to the show. Almost fell in my wheelchair. Almost fell in my chair.
Yeah, bro, you in a wheelchair?
No, I'm not. I'm stand up, right? No, I'm not in a wheelchair. I was in. Okay. Anyways, thank you for coming on to the show once more, man. I hope to have you on in the future. Again, everybody go follow him on Twitter at the Jordan Oliver and his other social media accounts. Links will be in the description. And stay tuned for his match again.
If you can't come tomorrow to Asbury Park, definitely check out the VOD on CZ Studios, I should say.
And there you go, everybody. It is officially 12:33, meaning it's the morning, midnight of this event. So I'm gonna stay up a little bit later on tonight to try to get this out of the window. Probably gonna be uploading it tomorrow about 9 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully you guys are up. If you're not up, wake your butt up. And wake up. But that is all we have for today's video/podcast. And before we go, support your neighbors, support your family, support your friends, support yourself, support your local indie promotion, support your local grocer, and most of all, support Ring Sports Nation. I'm your host of Ring Sports Nation, Truman Nelson III, and thank you for tuning in to today's podcast and the very first episode of a new chapter in Ring Sports TV Nation. Ring Sports TV presents Sitting Down with the Wrestlers. Oh my gosh, Sitting Down with the Superstars. That was a complete botch. Matthew from Botchamania. I know you're probably not watching this, but please don't put this inside your video. Anyways, guys, have an awesome day. Go check out the match between Jordan Oliver and Rich Swann. And have an awesome day. All right. Peace out.